Welcome to the Control-M Quantitative Resources video. In this video, you will learn about quantitative resources and how to use them in a job. A quantitative resource is a physical or logical entity that you can count, such as a CPU, table/dataset, database, or memory. Quantitative resources can help you avoid overwhelming the resources in an environment by managing the jobs that use the same resource. When a job is submitted, the specified quantity of the resource is allocated to that job and is unavailable to other jobs until the first job is completed. Control-M verifies that jobs are executed only when the required amount of the resource is available. For example, let's say that you have a database resource and only 3 jobs can update it at one time. You also have a job that backs up the database, and during the backup, you don't want the database to be updated. When creating the resource, you will give it a quantity of 3. The jobs that update the database will use 1 quantity each of the database resource, and the backup job will use a quantity of 3, so that during the backup, no other job can use the database. Using this example, let's look at how you create the resource and then add it to the jobs. You can create quantitative resources from the Planning domain by going to the Tools menu and selecting Quantitative Resources. You can also access the Quantitative Resources window from the Tools domain. Let's add the database resource by clicking Add Resource. In the Resource Name field, we'll enter the database name, and the maximum quantity will be 3. And last, we'll save the entry. Now we'll go back to the workspace and add the resource to the jobs. Resources are located in the Prerequisites tab, so we'll select the first job and click Prerequisites in the Job Properties. In the Quantitative Resources area, we'll click plus and enter the resource name. Once we move to the next field, the resource is recognized and the total amount field is updated to the correct maximum quantity. This job updates the database, so we need 1 unit. We'll keep the default value of 1 in the required quantity field. Now we'll add the resource to the other 2 update database jobs. For the job that backups the database, we'll add the resource, and the required quantity is 3. Let's order the jobs and see what happens. We see that the 3 jobs that update the database are running simultaneously, and the backup job is waiting for the resource. After the update jobs finish, the backup job begins executing. Let's order these jobs again and go back to the Quantitative Resources window to see the information that's displayed. Auto Refresh is selected by default. You can toggle it off or on. The default refresh time interval is 60 seconds. You can change this in the Advanced Options area from the File menu. Or you can click Refresh Resources to update the display immediately. You can filter the display according to these fields. There are 3 types or states for a quantitative resource. Defined is the actual definition of the resource. In use means that a job that is running is currently using the resource, and required means that a job marked as critical is waiting for the amount needed of a resource. Quantity refers to the amount of the resource that is currently available, and here we have the maximum amount of the resource. If a resource is non-functional or out of service, you can change the maximum amount of the resource to 0. This prevents jobs with this resource from running. Thank you for watching this video.